Are you an artist? Do you create things? Do you have a creative process and sometimes feel like a failure? Maybe this episode is for you. I am Nikos Balboa, and this is Balboa Park. I am a trans man. I'm Italian, but I live in France, and I've been living here for more than 20 years. I have a teen daughter, and I'm a mom. I'm a tattooist and I do graphic novels in Italy and in France. And in this podcast, I want to talk about my and the creative process. Welcome. Today's episode is for those who feel like a failure in their creative process. Maybe every day, maybe sometimes, maybe not so often, but it happens anyway. This happened to me a lot. And so today I'm trying to debunk. I'm going to try to observe what happens and maybe try to get rid of this horrible feeling. Let's try. So, what I've noticed is that every time I compare my work to others artists, I suffer. And when I compare my work also to the idea I have of myself, the idea of the artist I should be, I suffer. This is because in some kind of way, I judge my career or I judge what I do. I judge my production or my routine in my practice. So I went on Google and I looked for the definition of judgment. Judgment, the process of forming an opinion or evaluation by discerning and comparing, or also an opinion or estimate so formed. And then we also have the capacity for judging, discernment. And the last one is the exercise of this capacity. Okay. So, do you ever judge others, other artists, or who you should be, the artist you should be? Let's look at the different definition. If I pick up discerning or exercise of capacity, this is some way is a positive use of the judgment. For example, I always say when we are jealous of other artists, if we see some other career, some other person that do something that strike this chord in which we are, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would be this. I wish I have this kind of achievement in my career. In those occasions, it's very fun to don't dismiss the uncomfortable feeling of judgment and jealousy, because this can be reformulated and this can be like a direction for us to a path to follow. For example, if I see some artist doing, I don't know, some achievement and I'm like, I wish I have this. Maybe I can ask myself, first thing, why I would like to achieve this? What's the feeling I want to feel when I achieve this achievement? I don't know if you can say this. And then maybe explore that maybe this feeling is already present in some other things I do in my career, or it can be what this person did for achieve this goal, achieve this step in their career. Um, and maybe I can observe, I can imagine, I can write down different steps that can lead me to this achievement. And then in this way, my judgment, my jealousy can just become a to-do list. And this is fun. But then when I go to read the definition, I can also find words like opinion or evaluating. And so I'm thinking about myself, some error maybe I did in the past, maybe when I was younger and I would come across to some older artists that would, I don't know, show their work that I found tacky or that I found kitsch, and then I would judge their work. And I realized that judging negatively other people work can be like a boomerang. If we give an opinion or if we evaluate negatively the work of other creative people, this will come right back at us because our mind works like this. Our mind judge and maybe compare and maybe evaluate in order to survive in everything. And in our creative process, it's quite the same. So once you have judge and evaluate and get a negative opinion on someone else's work, then the comparing will come. And this is also part of judgment. The comparing will come back as a boomerang and will eat you with question like, am I bad like this person I judged? And this self-judgment is very difficult to listen, even if it's from our own mind. And of course, when all is good, when your paintings are selling, when your tattoos are booking, when your books are published, or maybe you are a musician, your tour day are full booked, or I don't know. Those are the moments we are strong in our practice and we feel good and we feel successful and maybe we have more income. Can also be maybe a publication we do on our Instagram that got a lot of likes, a lot of reshares, or I don't know what, maybe can be TikTok or maybe can be other social media that will come later, I don't know. When we are strong in our practice and we feel successful, then maybe we don't judge ourselves very much. But then there are some times that we feel less successful, maybe we have less work to do and therefore less income, or maybe we publish something we liked and it didn't barely get to enough like or what you expect. All those kind of situations in which we feel weak in our practice, in our success, in our career. Those times, the judgment, the mind chatter will come back at us. And then we will judge ourselves. For me, it's like, oh, maybe I'm as bad as this tacky person that I judged 20 years ago. And now, 20 years later, I'm like this. I'm old and out of fashion and all sort of judgment. And then what happened right after? It's we don't feel this pull, we don't feel this flow, we don't feel this inspiration anymore. And we ask ourselves, am I a failure? Should I give up? I don't know if it's happened to you, but this happened to me a lot. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I just should stop because I can't draw, because, judging what we do. Um, I'm tacky, I'm kitsch, I'm out of fashion, I don't have talent, all sort of judgment. And those moments are like shitty, sorry for the curse word. And so what's the answer? What should we do in those moments? In those moments in which we judge our practice and ourselves so much that we can't carry on continuing in what we do, in what we like to do, because we are like in a box of, if I move, I fail again, or if I continue producing art, then I will fail even more. What's the remedy to all this? Mm-hmm. And if you're waiting for an answer, I don't have it. This is a podcast in which I ask a question and I'm waiting for the answer. No, I'm joking. I guess that there's no answer, but there is only an attitude we can have toward this moment. And the attitude will be just, first thing, observe what we are doing. We observe and we notice that we are judging. We notice that we are throwing rocks on our own art production. And this is very painful. We can use this judgment as a way of self-improving our practice, self-improving our techniques. If we feel that what we do is not quite yet what we want to do, instead of judging, Maybe we can tell ourselves that we need or we want to learn a new skill, or maybe we have to adjust our workspace, maybe we have to make some more time in our practice or change something in our routine. Or also we can use this observation of judgment just to wallow in self-loathing. Just take a day off, lay on your couch, on in bed, and do whatever you do to cope with hard things in life. For me, can be maybe stay in bed and eat sugar and watch Netflix. I like doing this to some kind of recharge. In this moment, I want to stay in the feeling of I feel like a failure, my work is tacky, is kitsch, or whatever. But what can I say is like when we indulge in this self-loathing, in this judgment on ourselves, in feeling minor, the risk is that we get addicted to this. We get addicted to the feeling of feeling less, of feeling minor, of feeling untalented, or of feeling not worthy of happiness. And when we indulge in this feeling and we get some kind of addicted to it, it's exhausting. I guess that we may say that feeling minor, it's on the same level of feeling major regarding to others. Because if we recognize that we are ourselves and there is no one like us, and it's true, and think at someone you love, think at the person you love the most, can be a friend, can be your lover, can be a parent, can be a sibling, can be your child, and think all the aspects of this person, the aspects that are up, the aspects that are down, things that are pleasant, but also things that are unpleasant, and tell me who would be this person that you love the most without all this part of themselves, the pleasant and the unpleasant. Maybe you don't want to change this person. And I'm talking about the person you love the most. I'm not talking about somebody that it's in your life that you should love and that has a lot of toxic traits or violent traits that you would like to change. Of course, I'm talking about a safer relationship. Often when you love someone, you don't want this person to change. You want this person to don't hide part of themselves. You don't want to love this person in a different way than they are. Okay? Can you see it? And now think about yourself. You may want to think that you are whole with all the ups and downs. And so when we put ourselves on a pedestal or when we put ourselves wallowing in the mud, we are doing some violence. If we say, oh, I'm better than anyone, you are dividing yourself from the rest of the world, and it's not fun, and it doesn't help improving yourself as a person and also like as an artist in the practice. And if you put yourself down in the mud and always saying, I'm not worthy, I have no talent, you're cutting yourself from the possibility to improve your practice, since you are saying, I have no talent, so why bother to improve my practice? So judging ourselves as artists, I guess that it may happen and it may put you up or put you down. And what we want to do is to stay in our center and just observe. Of course, if you judge yourself as the better artist, it maybe feels good. I don't know, but maybe we can talk about this. Tell me what you think. Maybe we can talk about this in further other episode. But today is like when we judge ourselves and we put ourselves down and we say ourselves, I have no talent. It doesn't feel good, but we can use this. We actually definitely can use this as a way to observe first and then maybe ask the judgment, what can we do to improve ourselves? As usual, I do episode for talking about this for you, but I'm the first one who needs this kind of talk. I will use this advice, as usual, I give to you for myself. And let's keep the conversation going, maybe on Substack, or maybe if you are not on Substack, maybe you should come on Substack. But if you don't want to come on Substack, maybe you are listening this on Spotify. I don't know if it's on Spotify. I guess there is a way, or leaving a comment, or you can come in my DM on Instagram. Yes, you can come in my DM or on Substack. Let me know what you think, and if you like this episode, maybe you can consider to send it to your BFF, the one person you don't want to change. Or maybe you can send it to your favorite artist. Maybe it's your coworker, or maybe it's your friend. Maybe it's somebody who needs to hear this. I don't know. Thank you so much for stick with Balboa Park. Stick with me. I hope to hear from you. I hope you will have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.